This is the sequence of the first previous video which I made about elephant gambit, and in that video I explained the moves e4, e5, knight f3, d5, e into d5. This was the topic of the previous video. But in today's video we are going to discuss that what if white takes the pawn on e5, what happens then? And for this video I have taken a game of two grandmasters, one grandmaster and one FIDE master. Grandmaster was A. Demchenko. These are the Russian names. Please excuse me if I can't spell them properly. The second one was V. Chizikov. Okay, we continue with our game. That what if instead of white takes pawn on d5, white plays the move knight into e5, what happens? Okay, let's go with the move knight into e5. The main reply over here is bishop t6, and the standard reply which was played in the game was d4. There is another also reply, and that one is knight into f7, and white won that game. This was played between a blitz game between two players. One was chess master and second was FIDE master. So we will continue with our main line, that was d4, and after that this pawn is protecting this knight over here, and black is obviously going to take this pawn over here. D into e4, knight c4, all the standard moves, all the standard opening moves, immediately bringing this knight to the c4 square and hitting this bishop over on d6. Bishop e7, bringing the bishop to a protected square. Actually, black does not want his bishop to be exchanged for this knight. Knight e3, threatening the pawn on e4. Knight f6, protecting the pawn. Bishop e2, castle. Both players are developing castle. And here black played the move bishop f5. There was another continuation also, and that was knight c6, and this is considered more solid. After that, d5, knight b4, knight e3. Black is attacking this d5 pawn twice, and white is now protecting it is thrice. Sorry, black is attacking it thrice. So c6 was played, d into c6 and knight into c6. Knight ed5, bishop f5 now, and bishop e3. I think this is the better continuation for black over here, instead of the move which was played in the game bishop f5. So after bishop f5, bishop f4 was played, developing the bishop. Knight c6 was played, and that was a mistake. Instead of it, it was better to play the move bishop e6, threatening this knight. And this knight is protected by this knight still on f6. So it was better to play this bishop to e6 and stop white from playing this move d5 in future. Knight into e3, white is stressing that I am going to play this move d5, and c6, stopping this move still d5. Bishop g3, bringing the bishop back over here for any type of future attacks, and rook e8. And this was the best sequence for black to continue with. Instead, he made the move knight c6, and that was a mistake. which allowed the white to play the move d5 over here. And this move is devastating. The reason behind is that the knight has no good squares. These pieces, black pieces, have no good squares, but white pieces, these three pieces are completely active. And this piece is also active on this diagonal, d1 and h5 diagonal. And this queen is also doing a good job protecting this pawn and controlling this file. So over here, knight b4 was played and knight e3. The same move. Continue this, protecting this pawn. Bishop g6 was played in the game and a3. Knight a6 was played, and now you see that why the move at that time bishop to e6 and c6 was important, as this knight is not at a good scale, because after this white is going to take this scale from this knight also, and he played the move b4. This knight has no future. This is a bad piece, and this knight is basically playing for white side, not for black side now. Knight b8 was played, and that was another mistake. Instead of it, it was better to play the move bishop d6. And after bishop exchange, then c into d6, blocking this pawn with the pawn. And after that, this knight could move to c7, putting pressure on this pawn on d5. So we go back to our game where knight b8 was played and knight b5. Here again, black made another mistake and he came back. The reason behind is that white is now threatening to take this pawn, as bishop is eyeing this pawn and knight is eyeing this pawn. And black came back again here to protect this pawn. Here instead it was better to play the move knight to e8. This knight to e8. After knight into c7, knight into c7, d6, bishop into d6, bishop into d6, rook e8. So you may see that this is better for here, for black. This sequence of moves is better. So knight a6 was a mistake, and after that c4 was played, strengthening this pawn and protecting this knight over here also. Knight d7 was played, d6. Now it was the time to open up this file for queen and these rooks. C into d6, knight into d6, bishop f6, hitting this rook over here. Rook a2 was played by white, but instead of here, it was better to take the pawn first, knight into b7. Then after queen c8, knight d6 again, back hitting the queen again. Queen d8, now it was the time to play the move rook a8, because in this sequence of moves, you have taken this pawn for free. We came back to our main move which was played in the game, rook a2. Knight e5 was played and c5. Now this knight is better than these rooks. Knight d3, bringing the knight to over here, and bishop g3. This is not the time to take this knight over here. This knight would be taken out, because after this rook from a2 to d2, This knight will be threatened 3 times, and this is only protected by once and twice. Bishop e5 was played, and that was another mistake, but I would say that was the blunder of the game. Instead of it, it was better to play the knight c5, c7 here. After that, rook d2 and bishop c3. Rook c2, bishop e5. Now it was the time to play the move bishop to e5 by misplacing this rook over here on c2 and this developing this knight from a6 to c7. So we go back with our move in the game, which was played bishop e5, bishop into bishop, knight into bishop, and rook d2 now. Now see, this rook and rook, queen are threatening this. And they have full control of this d file over here. And whenever this knight will move, this queen will be threatened. Knight d3 was played again, f4. Why to take it immediately? After pawn take and give the rook for it. Instead, why don't we play it like this and stop this over here? By playing the move f5. Sorry. Queen f6 was played and bishop into d3. Now it was the time to take this knight on e3, e into d3 and f5. This pawn is a corner. Queen g5 was played, rook into d3, bishop h5 was played and queen e1. Protecting this pawn and coming this queen to over g3 and protecting this square h4 also. b6 was played in the game and c6. Now this is a passer and it is not easy for black to hold it. Here obviously the black's position is completely ruined and he has just lost the game. The game continued for some moves further and we will look at to them. Knight c7 was played and queen g3. This was a blunder actually. After this move, game becomes equal. I want you people to find the move actually. That what happens, what was the best move over here? Kindly pause the video and think that instead of this move, queen to g3, what was the best move to be played first? Then you could have played this move, queen g3. Kindly pause the video and think over it. I hope you have thought over it and found the best move, and congratulations if you have found it. The best move was knight d5, immediately threatening this knight over here and taking full control of these two files. So queen into g3 was played, h into g3 and f6, and that was the blunder from the black. Here the move which still equalizes the game was the move bishop e2, threatening these both rooks. And black missed that. Rook d4, bishop into f1, king into f1, rook ft1, ft8, sorry, and f6 and g into f6 and knight ef5. See, white is an exchange down and rook is an exchange up. White has 1, 2, 3, 4, these two double pawns. We will consider that only 4 pawns, and black has also the same pawns. Now the position is equal, and black played the blunder by playing the move f6 instead of playing this move bishop e2 and taking one of the rooks. G4 was played in the game. Bishop f7, rook ft1, a5, knight into f7. We'll continue with the game. Actually, the game further does not require any kind of annotations or comments. Rook into f7, rook d7, rook e8, rook into f7, king into f7, knight c4, rook e2, rook d7 check, rook e7, and knight d6 check, king f8, rook d8 check, knight e8, and c7. And this pawn is unstoppable. So we'll look back to our game for once again. e4, e5, knight f3, and e5. There are two moves possible. One is pawn into d5, and the second move was knight into e5. If you want to check the line what happens that e into d5, then you can check my previous video, and in this game I have analyzed this move knight into e5. Knight into e5, bishop d6, d4, all are the standard moves. D into e4, knight c4 threatening the bishop, bishop e7, knight c3 threatening the pawn on e4, knight f6, bishop e2, castle, castle, bishop f5, and that was the move. Instead of it, you must go for the sequence of moves knight c6, d5, knight b4, knight e3, triple protecting this pawn over here, c6, now immediately hitting this pawn on d5, that this as this pawn is a problem, so d into c6, knight into c6. This was the best sequence. So after bishop f5, bishop f4, knight c6, and that was a mistake. Instead of it, bishop e6 threatening this knight first, or asking white to move this pawn over here on d5 immediately. Knight e3, c6, and bishop g3, and rook e8. Now this scare is covered. So this was the opening sequence of the moves. You might have understood the concepts behind Elephant Gambit. So this was the end of the video. Thank you very much. If you liked my video, kindly hit the subscribe button. Also hit the bell icon button and like the video. Thank you once again.